Welcome to this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have Haron Wilson. He's the creator of ViewMove New York, a platform dedicated to highlighting the often overlooked contributions of public transportation employees to the communities they serve. Welcome to the show, Q.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Q. I'm doing very good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I
Absolutely.
can't do good. Good isn't good enough. You got to do great.
Wonderful, wonderful. And what better day than such a good day to talk about, what we will be talking about. We'll talk about the vital role of public transit workers. In this backdrop, we'll have our conversation queue. But before that, let's understand a bit about your journey, your background, so that audience knows who they are listening to.
Well, I'm Haron Wilson. Everyone knows me as Q. I've been a public transportation employee in New York City for 30 plus years, 7 years as a driver, and for the past 23 as a supervisor in the buses division.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, what inspired you to to spotlight public transportation employees as such? Before you, there were many. After you there will be many. Around your colleagues, also your peers, there are many. Why only you? Why it inspired you?
Well, what inspired me to create the platform that I create was to promote positive insight on what public transportation workers do. A lot of time we get a very bad rap because things don't go the way a customer wants. But if the customers really knew all the intricacies that's involved in getting a person from point A to point B, and more importantly, back to point A, they'd probably give us a little bit more grace.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, I want to understand. Tell us a bit about the platform itself. We move New York.
So we with New York, I promote public transportation employee positivity. I also sell merchandise to various transit employees throughout the country, and I also created if I'm wrong, I believe is the largest sporting public transportation sports themed event on the East Coast, which is called the We Move New York Invitational, where I invite employees from several transportation companies within the region to compete in basketball, softball. I added soccer and I added flag football last year. And it's a yearly event. It usually takes place sometimes in the summer going into the fall. And I've been doing it since 2022. So this will be the fourth year coming.
Absolutely. So I want to understand, in a wider sense, is the impacted, how it has impacted local communities. Tell us a bit about, especially, for a global audience, someone who is, say, perhaps in a small place in India, and they want to understand it better.
So as far as what I do, as far as like with the invitational, since I promote it on social media, it means everyone's invited to come out. A lot of times we get people that are not employees, but are customers or riders that come out to the event and they get to interact with public transportation employees. Because a lot of times in our employee throughout the day, we do make friends and have relationships with people that are what we would call regulars on our buses or on our subways. We see them all the time. So when they see us having an event outside of something that's company related, they like to come out and support.
Absolutely. So, what has been the reaction, the reaction for many people who are part of the public transport system, and all? Have they been very open to it? Have there been questions about it? Why any sort of cynical remarks around it? I want to understand that overall.
Well,
Did
the
you
only
face
cynical
challenges
remarks,
around it?
the cynical remarks are going to come. Similarly, like, oh, this is why the buses are late, or this is why the trains are late because you guys are out playing basketball and football, etc. That's to be expected, right? But the overall reaction has been more than positive. Each year, people are looking forward to coming out and enjoying the games. People are asking me if there's any help I need in any aspect. Other people have come to me with other great ideas to expand it even wider. One of the biggest things is I have people from other transportation companies throughout in other major cities wanting to participate. However, I can only have but so many teams competing in the time slot that I do, because I only do it over the course of one day, because it'd be too much to do it over the course of a few weeks. So I try to cram as much as I can in one day, and I do not have a slot for everyone that wants to participate.
Absolutely, absolutely. So how are you getting funds for it? It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of time also that is required. How are you able to do it? What is it, that you
So
do
so
to
the
arrange for all this?
So I sell merchandise that helps me fund the We Move New York Invitational. Also, it's a ticketed event, so money from the merchandise that I sell and money from the tickets helps cover most of the costs for the We Move New York Invitational. In addition, I also reach out to sponsors. Over the past couple of years, we had a few companies that believe in the event and want to sponsor the event. So those funds come from those three different avenues.
Right. And are you looking at it as as some sort of a non-profit, or is it a business? How should people understand it?
It's a business. It's so with it could be a nonprofit, but to run a nonprofit is more intricate than just running a profit. It's harder to get sponsorship when you are a for-profit. Companies rather sponsor companies that are nonprofit. I could go the nonprofit route, however, then I gotta have a board and I gotta have this and that and everything in place. It's for me right now at this juncture, it's simpler for me to just run it as a profit. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm just doing it to have an avenue for public transportation employees from different regions to get together, get to know each other better, and promote the positive aspect of what we do in our cities.
Absolutely. What is the vision for you, for this particular thing that you are, the platform that you are working on? Is there only a short-term vision, or is it a long-term vision around it, Q?
So the long-term vision would be to expand it internationally, whereas, there's public transportation companies in London. I would love to have a company from employees from London come over and compete in one of the sporting events. Like, for instance, we play basketball, softball, but we don't play cricket. I know cricket is bigger in Europe than it is in the United States. If we could get a cricket team to come over, I know we have a lot of employees from the Caribbean that play cricket that do not have a platform to play cricket. But if we got a team from another country to come over to play cricket, I'll definitely put it together, set up a cricket field, and we compete internationally.
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to understand the challenges that you face day in and day out of putting out such a platform. Tell us about it so that, for those people who may want to help, or for those people who can understand these things, okay, this is what Q is facing it, but still able to create some buzz around the people who are working so hard behind taking them places.
So the biggest challenge that I face is getting people to see the vision. A lot of people, they want to support, but they don't know how to support. And the simple support is, one, just tell people about the event, and two, to just come out to the event and spread the word about the event. Um, Getting teams to organizing one, two, three, four, four different sporting events with maybe 10 different teams can be challenging. So what I like to do is I like to designate one person for each sport and one person for each team, and getting all that to come together under one umbrella with the time slots, the arrival, the distribution of the uniforms, the collecting the fees for the people that are participating. It is definitely, every year I say I'm never doing this again until it's over. Then I say I'll do it again.
Absolutely. How do you motivate your team, engage your team in this whole mission? Because the mission is very good, but then there has to be a lot of push, understanding from the team side. How are you able to do it?
So the day of the event, most of the people that are there working with me are my family and friends. So just out of the love that they have for me and the support that they've given to me throughout the years on my various business ventures, just I just say, hey, listen, this is the day of the event. This is the day I need you guys to show up. This is what I need you to do, and they're there. So getting my team motivated isn't hard. They see the vision. They understand what I'm about. They understand what I do, and what I'm doing is something positive. So I will always get their support.
Right, right. And if you would like to share the daily lives, of public transportation workers and the way they continue to do their roles in daily life. Help us a bit to understand their life better. What are the challenges? People generally, outside will think, okay, it's in New York, such employees, they must be getting good amount of money because it's a rich country and they must be. So how do you look at that part of understanding rather than their day-to-day lives and the problems there, and do they get such good amount of money that they can have a good quality of life, or is it not so good as the impression is?
So as far as the pay it's all relative, right? The pay is good, but in New York City, the cost of living is high. So it depends on how you manage your money, right? You can make you can provide a very good quality of life for yourself and your family. What I like to tell people when they come on a job is, listen, maintain a 40-hour lifestyle, right? Don't get caught up in having to do overtime to maintain your lifestyle. Once you get to having to do overtime to maintain your lifestyle, you're on the wrong track because overtime isn't always going to be there, right? However, if you have a goal, a financial goal that you're working towards, yes, go ahead, go out, make that money, right? But don't base your lifestyle on overtime. So as far as the daily aspect of a public transportation employee, I can speak as far as the city I work in. Our schedules aren't like a regular 9 to 5 schedule. You could come in at 2 in the morning, or you could come in at 5 in the afternoon. You could get off at 12:30 in the afternoon, or you could get off at 3 o'clock in the morning. The schedule is 24-hour service, right? For instance, the facility I work in has never closed since the day it's open. It's always open because there's always employees either going in, coming out. As far as bus operators, supervisors, will also have mechanics that are working on the bus in the evening when the buses come in. But that it doesn't stop. They're also working on the buses in the daytime when the buses go out. So our schedules, one of the things that's great about our schedule is that it's flexible for people that have like childcare issues. So, if you need to be home with your children in the daytime, then you could pick a late schedule and vice versa.
Okay, okay, that's good. So how do you see now that you are able to give back to your community, also helping people understand, and with a larger vision of making this a worldwide thing? How do you feel about this whole thing? Did you ever plan these things long back, or is it just one fine morning it came into your mind?
So, so no, I how to best explain it. So it's something that just popped in my head, but I had the vision because there's other agencies in New York City that have a similar event. However, we're never included. So I decided to create something for us. It's usually, police and the fire department have their competitive events, and we're really invited out to compete. So I said, hey, why not just create something for us here in New York City? And then I expanded it to other cities as well, but basically themed for public transportation employees. While as like the fire department and the police department, they have their competitions with other fire departments and police departments throughout the city. I just created something similar just for us,
Right. And
but
for
I think
people
I do
in
it
the
bigger and
US,
better. Huh?
wonderful. So, yeah, yeah. So, for people who are, say, who want to help in New York, outside New York, in the US, even outside USA, perhaps from somewhere in India, what is it that they can do to help you? What is it? How is it that
Also,
they
if
want to
somebody
be a
wanted
part
to
of this
support,
mission?
simply they could go to removenewyork.com and just purchase some merch, a T-shirt, a hat, gloves, or they could reach out to me and I could create something and I'll send them the link, and I could customize it for them and they could purchase it like that. That would be a great help as far as me raising the funds that I need to keep putting this event together every year.
Absolutely, absolutely. A lot of people who would want to know more about this about the events. What's the best way for them to connect with you, Q?
So they can follow me on all social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook at We Move New York on all my social medias, all the same. They could go to WeMoveNewYork.com. I have an about page, and they could read what WeMoveNewYork.com is about. And message me. I have no problem responding to messages at all. If it's something that interests me or is a great conversation, or I can help explain something a little bit better, I can. But keep in mind, I am not responding as a representative of the company that I'm working for. I'm responding as an individual myself.
Absolutely. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
All right, thank you.